Hey everybody, welcome back. So today in my movie poster collection series, I'm doing the letter D. It's definitely a lot of my favorites in this one, so this may end up being a little bit longer than the other ones, but I'll try and keep it as short as possible. But some of my favorites are in here and I definitely want to say an extra bit about them. So let's get started. First up is the movie Damnation Alley. Next up, I think I got this in a lot, and this is for the movie Daryl. I actually have two copies of this. This is a picture, obviously one of them, and that is for the Dark Crystal. I'm a huge fan of the Dark Crystal, so I have actually a couple things here. So obviously the one sheet, I have two one sheets. I have this incredible French poster with this amazing artwork. This is one of those huge ones. Again, the ones that are like 47 inches across and 63 inches long. I mean, they're just gigantic. And I have the original lobby card set, which I'm very happy to have. And also, it's a still set, but it's printed on like lobby card stock. They're like a cross between stills and lobby cards, and a smaller version of the video poster. And here are a couple of my Batman ones. First up is Batman Begins. It's a couple different versions, but this is the one I kind of really like. Here's one of the teaser posters for The Dark Knight with him on the Batpod. And here's the one sheet for The Dark Knight. Here's the teaser poster for Dark Knight Rises, which some of you may, well, you'll see in the room tour, but right here is, it's actually on my wall right above my two statues of Batman and Joker from Dark Knight. And then I have the one sheet for Dark Knight Rises. Well, not in the best of shape. I got this super cheap, and it's sort of my goal to try and get as many John Carpenter posters as I can. Here's Dark Star. It's got a little missing bit in the corner, but you know, the price was right, and it's like I just was happy to have one. This is from re-release of Dark Star, I think in the late 70s, I think. But this was, I don't know if this was a theatrical run or one that was more like a tour, because it's much smaller than a one sheet. See it pop up every so often, you know, got it pretty cheap, and I don't know, I love the goofy artwork. Here's a teaser poster for Dark Man, which I think is really cool. And here's the amazing one sheet for Dark Man, which some of you may remember from my Flashback Weekend video that I did have signed by Sam Raimi. And he was really excited to see it. Unfortunately, I don't think he gets a lot of Darkman stuff to sign, which is a shame. I was happy to have him sign my one sheet. And here is my Darkman press kit, which has a lot of cool stills in it. And here's one of my most prized possessions, because it's also one of my top 3 favorite films, and that is my original one sheet for George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. And as you can tell from the picture, I have many autographs on it. I've been lucky to meet most of the main people, and a couple extra ones luckily my friend Bob was able to get for me at a convention that I was not able to attend. I have all the main people on here. I don't know how many more people I want to get on here. You know, I can always get like a couple more zombies or something. I've some of the main ones, and obviously I have the main, you know, all the main cast and crew, you know, obviously the late George Romero specifically, all the leads. I don't know, I may kind of call it pretty soon, you know, as like done. I'm not going to get any more signatures on it. I'm going to go get it framed. But definitely one of my most prized posters in my entire collection. Here's one that also means a lot to me. It's the original VHS video poster for Dawn of the Dead. For those of you like me who sort of found Dawn of the Dead on VHS, I'm sure you remember this artwork from it. It's sort of so burned on the brain for me. So I'm happy to have the poster with that image. So a couple years ago, I met a guy who had a bunch of Japanese like programs and stuff. So I have one for Dawn of the Dead, and I can't remember what the other thing in this photo is. One of them is a program, and one of them is, maybe it's 2 different programs. I don't remember. I really need to dig these out, kind of go through them, because I don't remember much about them. Another one I was really happy to get, and this is the original Italian poster for Dawn of the Dead, obviously under the title Zombie, as it was released in Italy. And again, this is one of those huge ones. It's, you know, the 47 by 63. It's gigantic. You don't see them too often, so I'm very happy when I found it. I mean, yes, it has the tape marks on the outside, but I don't care. Moving on to Day of the Dead to match my shirt for today. Here is the one sheet for Day of the Dead. And just like Dawn, I think I'm about ready to call this one. I don't know who else I could get on it. Met pretty much like the entire cast, the entire living cast. Obviously, I don't have Richard Liberty on here, for example. And then, like, all the main crew, you know, luckily, obviously, Romero on there before he passed. Tom Savini, Michael Gornick, John Harrison, and stuff. So, I'm pretty happy. I think I'm going to call it as done pretty soon. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I would want on it. Otherwise, I'm going to try and get it framed. But again, another one that is, like, treasure in my collection. And here's another one of those Japanese programs that I picked up from one guy. I really need to dig these out so I can actually show, like, flip through them on camera, because I don't even remember what they look like on the inside. Here's one I got a lot, but still kind of cool. It's from Days of Thunder, which is, a cool racing movie. Here's my Dead and Buried one sheet that I had autographed by Gary Sherman. Here's one for the movie Zeter, released here in the US as The Dead Are Alive. The poster does not represent the movie at all. It's like it's like more of a giallo than anything, but this poster kind of looks like a zombie movie or something. But that artwork is so stark. I absolutely love the artwork. And it is a 30 by 40 too. Here's one for the movie Dead Girl that I got when I went to an advance screening of Dead Girl. And like the director and the actress were there and they were giving out posters, so I grabbed one. Here's another one I got a lot, but pretty cool to have. That's for Dead Heat, but this is the video poster, not the one sheet. Here's for David Cronenberg's Dead Ringers. Here's a cool one for David Cronenberg's The Dead Zone, and this is also a 30 by 40 that I was lucky to get. Here's the one sheet for Wes Craven's Deadly Friend that I do have autographed by the beautiful Chrissy Swanson that I was able to meet 3 years ago, I think it was. Here's for the Roger Corman classic Death Race 2000. Here's the one for the movie Death Valley. Definitely one I'm not getting rid of, and that is for probably my favorite Death Wish movie, possibly my favorite Bronson movie, and that is Death Wish 3. Love this movie so much. So happy to have the one sheet. I'm keeping this one. Here's the cool poster for Death Ship. Here's one I would like to find one in better condition someday, but I also got it like super cheap a long time ago, and that is for Deep Star 6, which I really wish would get a Blu-ray release. It is on Amazon Prime, for those of you who are interested. Man, does it need. I was really hoping it would come out during the Vestron line, but I don't know. Although I thought I heard somebody else, was Kino gonna release it? I don't know. I have to look that up. Either way, it needs a Blu-ray release. Here's the one sheet for Delta Force, and if you're like me, the theme music just jumped in your head. I know it looks a little wavy in the picture, but it's actually in really good condition. This is my rolled one sheet for Demons. I was lucky enough to score. And the interesting thing about the US release of Demons is that it's original because it was actually printed off center. So if you ever see a poster for Demons and it's actually printed off center, believe it or not, that is an original. And then here's the Spanish poster for Demons. Here is another one of those Japanese programs for Demons. And here is another one I think I got this one off eMovie Poster, and that is for a rolled one for Demons 2. Here's the original one sheet for Deranged. Really lucked out on this one, as well as the original lobby card set that I scored a couple years ago. Really, really happy to have that. And here's the one sheet for Dersu Uzala, which I think I got a lot, but I was happy to get it because it is one of Akira Kurosawa's films. It's the one he made in Russia. I'm a huge Kurosawa fan, so you're going to see a couple more of his stuff later in the collection. Here's my Desperado poster that I have signed by Danny Trejo and Robert Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez actually signed the barrel of the gun, so it might be a little bit hard to see in the picture. Here's Diary of the Dead. Here's my Die Hard one sheet. Happy to get that one a couple years ago. And then here's Die Hard 2. I think this is the one sheet. And then this is, I think, the teaser poster, if I remember correctly. Here's one for the comedy Disorganized Crime, which I need to watch again. I actually used to watch it a lot when I was a kid, and I remember it being really funny. Here's the amazing Dr. Butcher MD poster. I'm not getting rid of this one. I absolutely love this image. So that's definitely staying in the collection. This was just a kind of promo piece that was done, I think it was done for a re-release in the 40s for Dodsworth. I'm a huge fan of the movie Dodsworth. You never see anything. The movie came out in 1936. I mean, even if you did see something, it would probably cost an arm and a leg. So this was just kind of an odd thing that actually, I think it was something that was sent out to theaters and stuff that showed a bunch of promotional items that you could get for the movie, like posters and lobby cards and things like that. Here's the one sheet for Dolls, the Stuart Gordon film. Don't Answer the Phone. Another Don't Look in the Basement. Here's the one for Doomed to Die. Here's the Doomsday poster, which I have autographed by director Neil Marshall, Malcolm McDowell, even though he claims he doesn't remember he's in it, even though he has a pretty big role, and star Rona Mitra, a comedy I absolutely love. In fact, it was even on TV last night. I watched a little bit of it before drifting off to sleep, and that is for Dragnet. I've watched this movie so much in my life. A lot of lines actually will pop up if you ever talk to me, even if you're not aware of it. Here's my Dress to Kill poster that I had autographed by Nancy Allen. And then finally, one of the few newer posters I have, and that is for Dunkirk. I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, but I love that movie. I think it was actually I think it was my favorite film of that year. So that wraps things up for the letter D. Keep an eye out for the next one, obviously covering the letter E. So definitely let me know your thoughts and which ones you think I should keep in my collection. Obviously, some of them are obvious, like Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.